Hey, what's up you guys? Wow, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole. If you are new here, thank you so much for checking out my channel. If you are not already, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're always notified every single time that I go live. So you guys might notice today that the background is a little bit different and it's not my usual filming room, and the lighting's a little bit different as well. It's just like natural lighting today because it is like noon and it's Friday, so I did wait till the very last minute, but I had a very good reason. So I am visiting back home. I'm visiting my family, and I wanted to just kind of talk about some old experiences that I had here. Like I said, I had a ton of experiences growing up, paranormal wise, and for me it's just kind of always been a part of my life. And so when I moved from one place to the next, it just kind of kept happening. And so this is where we have lived, I think, since I was like in 6th grade. So it's been like maybe like 11 or 12 years. It's been a very long time. So I'm gonna tell you guys actually a few different stories today, and so we're just gonna jump into that. So the first story I guess I should start with is just in my old room. And so when I was younger and I would sleep, I would hear like a knocking on the wall. And mind you, we were like one of the first families that lived here, so it wasn't like, oh, someone's knocking upstairs, because nobody lived above us, nobody lived next to us. Like, we were the only ones in this specific building. I think we were like the 8th family to move in, so literally we've been the only people in this apartment before, which is kind of weird to me. But even when I was younger, I experienced things at other apartments and whatnot. And also, if you guys hear like any sounds in the background, the fan is on, the AC is on. Like, my mom knows that I love it cold, so she just has it freezing everywhere. And so I used to hear this knocking on the wall, and it got to the point where I would just be like, okay, stop, and it would stop. But I remember at first I was really scared of it, and my mom, I would actually call her in because I'd be like, Mom, I can hear this knocking. I don't know what to do. And as soon as my mom was in the room, it would stop. And I even tried knocking on the wall and nothing. And as soon as my mom left, of course, the knocking started again. So that was something different. And it was weird because as I was driving in yesterday to the apartment, I was like, this overwhelming sense of like, just something's different. The energy in the entire complex as a whole is just different. When I say that, I mean like from everywhere else. And so for me, it's just always been like this overwhelming feeling, like this looming feeling that someone's just watching you at all points in time. That door that you see open right over there is my mom's room, and for some reason I've never liked being in my mom's room. If it was up to me, I would have the door closed all the time, but because the cat is in there, I'm gonna leave it open, because if not, the door will fling open and everyone, because she knows how to open the door, so people will like have a heart attack in the video. But my mom's room has just always felt like someone was in there, someone was watching. It was just, I don't know, it was just weird. And then in my room, it didn't feel like that, but there was one time when we were moving in and I was putting my clothes in the closet. And I remember hearing a growling behind me, and I remember it distinctly because I turned around and I was like, what? But we don't have a dog. Like I said, if we did have an animal, it was always ever a cat, but at the time we didn't have one. And so there were no animals in the apartment. Like I said, no one lived above us, no one lived next to us. Like, it was just us. And so I heard the growling more than once while I was in the closet, and so I went and called my dad. And I was like, did you guys say something? And he's like, no. And I was like, I heard like growling. And so he went into my room, and my dad's always done this thing where if something scary happens or if it starts to become more activity, we always have like holy water somewhere in the houses or the apartments. And so he would like go room to room, on every door, above every door, in the side of the rooms, and he'll put like a cross on the wall with holy water, and he'll pray over the room. And so we do that, and every time we do that, it would settle down. And so part of me is a little worried about that, but at the same time, I feel like if I don't feed into it and I don't give it energy like that, it'll be fine and it'll just go away for the meantime. And my mom's room, her room is just the weirdest thing to me. I think I've slept in there in the last 12 years a total of maybe 2 or 3 times because I hate being in there. And even now, like, my mom's not even here right now, and I feel like someone is, like, watching me, and I felt it since I woke up. And I'm actually going to tell you guys about a dream that I had last night because I just need to get it out. And I, like, text a few of my friends this morning because I was, like, freaking out. Because I don't have those kind of dreams normally, and so I just thought it was weird that I came here and I had that. But anyway, so after the knocking and the growling, then I start to hear someone saying my name all the time, and I always thought it was my mom, and so there would be times where I would run out and I'd be like, what's up? And nothing. And my mom either wasn't here or she was like, I didn't say anything. And so it was just really weird. There was actually a few times where I'd be in my room and I would leave. As I was about to leave the room, I'm like, okay, so in the morning I try to avoid people because I don't want to talk in the morning. I just want to, like, sit in the silence that is my misery. I'm kidding. But I do like to just, like, kind of be left alone in the morning. And so I went and put my ear against the door to see if, like, oh, is my mom in the living room? Is my dad in the living room? Like, are they watching TV? Are they in their room? And so I heard sounds and talking coming out, and I was like, okay. And so I opened the door, no TV's on, nobody's out here, and I was like, okay, got it. All right. And so I just played that off to, like, me being crazy, but I don't know. There's a time that I really don't like talking about. My friend, we will call her Heather, but me and Heather used to come over to my house. We would always just, like, hang out here. And then one day we were here. I don't remember. I think we were, like, sophomores or juniors in high school. We were so young. And my parents weren't here. And so we were sitting right over here in this dining area where you see this light. So behind this is, like, a table. And this is, like, the kitchen area. And then we have, like, a table right here. And we were sitting there, and behind me I heard the loudest, deepest growl. And I freaked out. I, like, stopped moving, and she's like, did you hear that? And I was like, yes. And so naturally, me being me, I went and grabbed a knife as if I'm gonna stab a ghost or something. When I grabbed the knife from the kitchen, I checked every single room and nothing. So I, like, double locked it, and I texted my mom and I was like, how soon are you getting home? And so that was, like, a really scary thing. I think there's a few times where growls have been involved, and so for me it is very overwhelming sometimes, but other times I just want to pretend that it's not there, and so I'm just like, stop, like, okay, that's enough, like, I'm tired, and it'll stop. And so I don't know, but last night, ooh, I need to talk about this. I have to, like, get this out because it just makes sense. And also, if I'm talking really fast, guys, it's because I want to get this over with. I'm actually going to go meet one of my friends and have lunch, and we're going to grab some food, but I really don't like being here by myself. And the cat is here, but she's somewhere. Okay, so last night I got home, and I had just hung out with one of my other best friends, and we were making food, and it was a fun time. And I got home, and I was really tired, so I showered, and I unpacked all my stuff, and I laid down, and I went to sleep. Well, after I went to sleep, I had this dream, and I've had this dream before, and I don't know if anybody knows what this means, but if you do, or if you happen to have experience with anything similar, or if you know what any of this means, like, can you let me know, please? I don't know that I want to know, but just let me know. If it even means anything at all. But I was asleep, and in my dream, from the bits and pieces that I can remember already, I was on some sort of vacation, or I was hanging around with my friends. I don't even know. It, like, skipped around. And I was riding a bike, and I was just riding around, and I guess I ended up riding into this house. And I guess this house is, like, where my parents were staying. It wasn't our house. It was, like, a hotel. So we were in this room in this hotel, and I am like going to bed, and in my dream I'm asleep, which is weird. I'm like dreaming that I'm asleep while I'm asleep. I don't know. So I'm in this bed, and it's just me, and I'm like covered by the blankets, and I can start feeling pressure on my feet, like someone's grabbing my feet over the blankets. And so I start pulling my feet, and they're still doing it. So I start shouting for my dad, and my dad, I don't know where he is. And so then I can feel someone laying next to me on this side, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, Dad, Dad, but I can't get the voice out. Like, you know, when you have almost like sleep paralysis, and that was basically what it was. It was kind of like a night terror, I guess, but it was like sleep paralysis mixed with like a bad dream. But I was like trying to shout, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't get him to like find me. And then I couldn't get the sound out. And then I remember like turning, and there was a guy next to me, and it looked like a younger guy, but he was like dead. And for some reason the name Josh like came to mind. I don't have anybody in my life that I'm close to named Josh. I haven't lost any friends named Josh. I don't have any family that I know of that has passed that's named Josh, so I don't know where that's coming from. But I remember turning and trying to yell, and the name Josh came into my brain, and I was trying to yell for my dad still, and every time I would yell, he would yell, almost like trying to drown me out so nobody could hear me, if that makes sense. And that happened a few times. And then somebody found me, and I think it was my mom, and my mom like woke me up and got me out of bed. And for some reason, another one of my friends happened to be in the dream, and they just like are very calming to me. And so they like calm me down, and like, it's okay, it's fine. And so I still don't know where my dad was in all of this dream. I remember in the dream, like he was there, but he wasn't like there, if that makes sense. And so somehow I end up laying back down again, and now there's somebody like my arm, I'm like laying like this in bed, and I'm just like flat on my back, and somebody is like putting pressure on my arm, and it's like they're pulling my arm this way, so I pull it back, and they pull my arm this way, so I pull it back, and it just like keeps happening. And then they're like pulling on my shirt, and they're pulling on my shirt, and I'm like, stop it, I'm trying to sleep. And in my dream, it didn't stop. It just kept going. And normally it always stops. And that was why it was like the weirdest thing to me. And so I woke up actually yelling for my dad, because I was like, I couldn't even get the sound out, but I woke up actually yelling for my dad for help, because it felt so real. And when I was waking up, my arm was actually moving. So I don't know if it was just like I was coming out of the sleep state, so my body started to do what I was doing. Or if I was actually like experiencing something. I don't know. I don't know. So if anybody knows whatever that means, let me know. But the dream itself, and I know that was kind of choppy, but it's like I already forgot a lot of it. But the dream itself was like, it was daylight outside. I was riding like this bike. There was like families everywhere. It was like a shopping area, and then there was like a hotel. And we went into the hotel, and it was time for sleep. And that was just kind of everything that happened. And I woke up very confused and very just like out of place, and it felt so weird. But yeah, and so it just like, it freaked me out. It just freaked me out a lot. And so there are a few other things that have happened here, but this video is getting really long, so I am going to leave it at that. And we will definitely have more stories for another day, but thank you guys so much for watching. If anybody knows what any of these things that have been happening are, please let me know, because I have no idea. And like I said, different places that I've moved to, I've experienced these things, but here mostly has been like growling. When I was younger, like when I was 5, I would see people though, and then that stopped, and then I just hear things. And so as I got older, it just turned into like doors closing or doors opening or footsteps and just like sounds. But it hasn't been whatever I've experienced here, thank God. But I don't know, I just feel like it became so normal for me and my family that we were just kind of like, yeah, okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys are into gaming, make sure to check out my Twitch channel. It is twitch.com/NicoleMoonYT, and I just became a Twitch affiliate. I was so excited about that. I play a lot of like horror games, so there's that as well. I play a lot of horror games, but I also play Roblox and I play Fortnite. But please don't be fooled, still not amazing at Fortnite. It's a work in progress. But for the most part, we just hang out and chill in the stream, and it's just a really fun time. So if you are not already, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you are always notified every single time that I upload a new video. I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing Friday. And yeah, bye. Oh, there's my cat. That's my cat. She wanted to say hi. Okay, bye.